Hi, I'm Leanne Ely. I'm a nutritionist, a New York Times best-selling author, and some people even say I'm a life coach. I started the Daily Dish Show to share my story, my truth, and my journey to vibrancy, and to inspire others to do the same. Because it's all about grit, perseverance, and finding a way despite the odds. It's about embracing the whole woman, not just the parts that are easy to love, and feeding her heart, mind, body, and soul. But I found that this isn't just my story, it's your story too. It's go time. This is the Daily Dish. It is Daily Dish time. Welcome to my sunroom. You can see the tree is up behind me and all of that. It's warmer in here than it is downstairs. Downstairs is a meat locker. And it's good for keeping things cold, but not keeping, I'm still trying to get my hands warm. So I'm glad you're here. Jeanette, it's good to see you. Tanya, hello. Anyway, we're going to be talking today about goals, believe it or not. There's all kinds of reasons why. And boy, am I excited about it because, we've got something really special for you. Thank you, Jeanette. She said the room looks pretty. Hi, Linda. Good to see you as well. Glad to have everybody here. Christmas is upon us. The holidays are upon us. But you know what else is upon us? 2025. And what does that mean for you? I don't know about you, but I've been going through all of it. And as a matter of fact, guess what I saw in my email today? Of course, I see this line in an email, and it says this: the best way to hit next year's goals is to not wait until next year to work on them. Boy, did that trigger all kinds of things. Hey, Martha, it's so good to have you here. Anyway, we're going to be talking about that. And the nice thing about this is it all connects the dots to what we are offering this week as our basically deal of the week. And it's the Rising Tide. This is a course that we've done. We've done it a couple of times, and it is massively effective. We've had rave reviews on it, and it's available again. This time, though, first time ever, we're giving you a discount. It's usually $197. It's only $147 this time. Go to savingdinner.com/show to get all the details. Okay? Is that a deal? I'm asking you to do that. There's something on my glasses. Who knows what it is? I'm asking you to do that because if you're like me, you're starting to think about your goals for next year, and it's critical. It's imperative because next year's going to come whether or not you want it to. And if you want to set yourself up for success, then there are goals that have to be made. Now's the time to start thinking about them. We don't think about them January 1st. That's a New Year's resolution, and we know how effective those are, right? Not very. So we're going to think about them now, and that is how things are going to get done. I'm excited about this. If you go to savingdinner.com/show, all the details are there. Every single last one of them. And I'm so excited to get that started. It will be through Tuesdays all through January that we do this, on Tuesday evenings. And why are we going to wait? Why wait for this? It's time to set that whole thing up. Amy Dickinson, do you know who she is? She's Ask Amy. She has this incredible quote. She says, "We are not our best intentions. We are what we do." That's a good one. That's a big whammy, isn't it? And we need whammies. I don't know about you, but I need a big whammy. I need to know my why. I need to get going on these different things, and I don't need to be waiting any more than you do. So let's talk about why we should be working on our goals, and all the science connected with it, and what it is that we can do now. You don't necessarily have to have all your goals laid out and what have you. You can wait for the rising tide, but there's pre-work to be done. And that is what we're going to be talking about, and also the science behind it, because this is the yummy stuff. This is what makes our dreams come true. So anyway, I've been thinking about my own goals, and we do it according to the Indian proverb, that basically says that each person has 4 rooms: physical, emotional, spiritual, and mental. And we need to go into each room every day, at least to air it out, or we're an incomplete person. And that has been such an incredible quote for me. And it's given me a different perspective on how to frame my days. And so I want to share this with you because this is, it's personal. It's also business and professional. And it's also, deeply spiritual when you think about it, because we do have that kind of power to create the worlds that we want to live in. And I don't know about you, but I want to be the queen of my own life, right? Amen. Pinkies up. Jocelyn's in the house. So good to see you, Jocelyn. All right. So there's a lot to get clear on right now, and we can create momentum before the new year begins. You know why? Because this is how your brain works. Your brain works like this. You can set you up for success, or it can leave you spinning. Do you know the spinning wheel of death that you get in a computer? You ever feel that way where you're just like you're spinning and you're spinning and you're going nowhere? Well, that can happen to you too. And it makes you feel like frustrated, stuck, not moving forward. And it's painful. It's really, really painful, because if we are here on purpose and for purpose, then we're fearfully and wonderfully made by God, right? Then we have work to do. We have things to do. We have things to accomplish. And those accomplishments are met through our goals. That's why I want to talk about this today. So the other thing is, and listen, guilty, I'm going to say this because I know everybody's going to go, ooh, me too. But we wait for the perfect moment to do this, don't we? Well, when I do this, I need to get this done and this done and this done, and then I'll sit down and do my goals. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, you don't have to sit down and do anything. You just have to start thinking about it and put something down on paper as it comes and allow for the process. That's how it works. And the best thing about it when we allow for this unfolding to happen like this is that it gives our brain that dopamine hit a little bit here, a little bit there, and it helps us to feel good and reinforce this as a win. Even though it's not completely done, as a win. Wins are the things that give us that dopamine hit, making us feel better, setting us up for momentum, setting us up for confidence, setting us up for success. This is absolutely critical. And your brain thrives on this kind of stuff. It loves clarity, it loves intention, and it loves action. Put all of those together, and this psychology of goal setting, it just backs all of this stuff up. It helps us to see things clearly. It helps us to develop our purpose and to see our purpose through all the fog, through all the stuff going on, through the confusion, through the overwhelm, and yes, even through the holidays. That's how when we set our heart on that, instead of all the things and all the stuff that needs to get done, then we can start seeing our way. So we are going to be starting this rising tide, and I hope it's with you, by the way. And even if you've done this course before, there's room to do it again, always, because there's new goals, right, to be made. So I want you to look at this because, goals are the things that make you resonate with your own life. Do you hear me on that? Because those goals are the things that help you to see, you don't have to be stuck. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be just one thing. It is all of the things all at once, but without the overwhelm. And I'm going to explain all of that if you just, buckle up and let's talk about what that means. So let's see how we can get started with that, even today. Number one is to get clear on what matters the most to you. Now, remember, we are not performing on an imaginary stage for all the people around us, hoping to get their approval. People pleasing is something that you can put on your don't do list. Let's take it off, because the people pleasing can only get you so far before you have abdicated your whole life to a bunch of imaginary audience members, right? So what we want to do is we need the clarity. to focus on the things that matter most to us, not to everybody else, but to us. Because without that clear vision, we default to what everybody else wants and or busy work, distractions, things that don't even make the top 10. And it's funny because you find yourself, and I don't know if you've ever been in this place, but you found yourself in that kind of a position where you're just going, oh, shoot, no, that's not really what I wanted. But we spent all this time and all this energy and all this focus on that. That's why this clarity part is so important. So here's what you need to do. Write down just a few things, and they don't have to necessarily be full-fledged goals, but things that matter to you for your heart. We're talking about relationships here. Is your relationship with your spouse where you want it to be, with your friends, with your children, grandchildren, whomever is in your life? Is that where it is? Or is there some work that needs to be done there? Be honest with yourself. This is what this is about. Your mind, are you learning and growing every single day? Are you stretching and pushing just a little bit so that your mind is always sharp? Are you taking care of this little vehicle of yours, your body? Are you pushing it a little bit? Are you feeding it correctly? Are you moving it and strengthening it the way it needs to be moved and strengthened? And are you working on your soul and your connection with God, yourself, and your purpose even? The deeper reason why you're doing what you're doing. So remember, this is a place where we want to get specific on some things too. And I want you to start thinking in terms of specifics. Instead of saying things like, well, I just want to get healthier. What does that mean to you? Exactly. Does that mean that you're not getting enough sleep? Does that mean that you're not hydrating enough? Does that mean that you haven't seen the inside of a gym for ever? Whatever that is, you can then take that small step and put it into a bite-sized pieces. So, instead of saying get healthier, you'll say, I'm going to strength train 3 times a week on a YouTube program, or go to the gym, or whatever it is, but just something that is a tangible step. And yeah, that can be a goal. And yes, that's enough. I hope that just lands with you, makes you say, yes, that is enough. Because oftentimes what happens, and the reasons why goals just go to hell in a handbasket, is because we overwhelmingly overdo it. And sometimes it's just a matter of setting this one thing up like that. And here's the science behind it. Studies show that writing down goals increases the likelihood of achieving them by 42%, right? Because there's a connection there. Remember, everything that you do, when you're wiring things into your brain, the more you do about it, the more you write it down, the more you talk about it, the more you think about it, the more you visualize about it, all of that is going to help to wire that new neuron. There's a really cool video on YouTube showing a neuron being wired into place. I don't know if you've seen it, but holy cow, it blew me away. This is exactly what's going on inside of our brains. We can make that happen at any time. So number 2 is you got to start with small actionable steps, small things, because big goals can feel really overwhelming. And so they should. That's why they're called BHAGs, big, hairy, audacious goals. They are overwhelming, but broken down into step by step. This is the way we do our goals, by the way, in 3-month increments. It's attainable. There's a sense of urgency about it, right? Rising tide people, you know what I'm talking about. And, starting small is crucial because it helps you to then start to see the vision of what could be. Do you hear me on that? Really important stuff. So identify just one thing that you can do, one small thing that you can do. Commit to a 10-minute walk, 10 minutes out and 10 minutes back. What is that? That's 20 minutes that you didn't do yesterday or the day before or whatever. It's the beginning of a new habit. It's something to say, hey, that's a win. I feel good about myself there. And again, your brain is going to reward you. Boom, here's a dopamine hit. That'll make you feel good. And it will keep the motivation going. Number 3 is to start visualizing your future self, because what you do today is going to influence who you are tomorrow. Bingo, just like that. It's true. So remember the piano player, we talked about that and how they hooked them all up with all those electrodes and everything. And whether he was playing the piano or playing the desktop in pretend piano, the things that were going on in his brain were exactly the same. This is because your brain doesn't understand the difference between reality and what you're telling it and what you're doing with it. So take advantage of this. This visualization process, key, very, very important. And it's going to help you to achieve your goals. So how do we do this? Just close your eyes. Take a couple of deep breaths and do a meditative thing and just think to yourself, this is the end of 2025. How do I feel? What's going on? What does my life look like? And try to use all of your senses, smell the smells and hear what you're hearing. And there's Linky. You see him going by? Hi, buddy. I know, I love you too. What are you wearing? What are you doing? What are you about? Those are things they're fun questions to ask, and it really helps. And the neuroscience behind it, it shows that visualizing activates the same neural paths as actual experiences, like the piano player. And it helps you to attain the ID, the identification of who it is that you want to be. The queen of your own life, of course, right? And number 4 is to break your goals into quarterly milestones. This is what we do with the Rising Tide. This is the whole premise of the way that we do goal setting. And it works because the science says that it creates a sense of urgency, and those regular check-ins and progress equals action. Because something that's going to be done at the end of December of next year, that's easy to put off. But when you are staying on track because you're looking down the barrel of 12 weeks, it's a whole different situation. There's more of a sense of urgency. You chunk them away. Let's say you want to lose 100 pounds. Big deal. 25 pounds a quarter, so doable. So simple to track and put together. Yeah, now easy, well, everybody's easy is different. But again, it's the same idea. It's breaking down a great big goal into small, attainable, doable steps. And your brain loves it. And last is the power, not the last, but also is the power of accountability. Let me just mention, we have a group, the Hot Milk Sprint, right on Facebook. That's a fabulous accountability group. If you need accountability help, you just say, hey, can somebody hold me accountable here? I really want to do, ask for what you want. And when we go after it with everything that we've got, heart, mind, body, and soul, and when we go into the places of what it is that we want, we get it. When we understand that the accountability process is going to make it that much better, we start to get it. And Tanya she said, I'm proof, 12 weeks and 20 pounds gone. Wow, good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, we can do that. Yes, it's doable. You know what to do. Just start to do it. And we can look down that barrel and get that done. And listen, this is what the research says about accountability. This is going to blow you away. Listen. The research from the American Society of Training and Development found people are 65% more likely to achieve a goal if they commit to someone, and 95% more likely if they have regular check-ins. Boom. Tanya has regular check-ins. She comes in every night and she says, this is what it is. This is what my day is. Even posting her terrible sleep time. Tanya, I'm going to tell you what, 2025, we're gonna redo your sleep. She's done so much, but that sleep really critical and important, and I'm gonna call her out on it with love. Anyway, so the last thing about this whole thing is that you have to embrace the pre-work and the reflection, because this is the thing that moves the needle. It's not just off the top of your head, it's from your heart when you do this kind of work. So you don't want to just jump into goal setting and just say, okay, so this is what it is, and I've got that done, and it's off my list. No. Sit with it, reflect on it. Think about 2024. What was your year like? Where is it that you feel like really fell down. Where's the place where you felt like you really won? Where's the place that you had like total victories? And what do you want to do differently in 2025 to make it that much better? Right? These are the things. This will all come to you because we're opening up the door for the creative processes and we're being solution oriented when that is our focus. We don't want to focus on the negative. We'll bring it to the table, but that's not the focus. The focus is always the solution. Always. So when we reflect, we can identify and see the patterns because there are always patterns. And if you're a pattern girl like me, I can see patterns of certain things that I've done. And when you decide, I don't want to be the poster child for this kind of situation, I want to correct this. I want to change it. Positive, that's moving you into a positive direction. It helps you to align with what it is that you want. It's a correction in your path. That's all it is. It's not a derogatory big red mark on your character and on who you are ever. So I keep all this stuff in mind because this is important stuff. This is the stuff that makes the world go around. So the most effective thing that we can do then is to start now today. Start now today. And I don't want you to wait till January 1st, I don't want you to be a part of the New Year's resolution group. No. I want you to be a part of the rising tide because the rising tide floats all boats. Do you know what that means? That together we come up. That together we can move the needles in our lives to the things that we actually want and desire. And that our dreams can come true collectively. The research tells us it's true. So I want you to have the best, most incredible 2025 ever on the planet. And I hope you're going to be a part of the rising tide because we opened registration up today. And this is a remarkable program. It is going to take you all the way through, not just your physical stuff, but your mental, your emotional, your spiritual stuff. It's going to check all the boxes. And just you wait till you see what else we have coming up in January. It's a workshop that I'm not going to talk about yet. Am I, Jenny? No, not yet. Jenny says no. Say nothing. Say nothing. But it's pretty cool, and we're working on that right now. So get ready for 2025. Yeah, I know we've got Christmas. We've got Hanukkah. We've got all the holiday stuff. We've got blah, blah. How many parties? How many things are you going to? I get it. But in the meantime, in between times, just bring a little notebook around with you. I've got one of these old Take Back Your Body notebooks, tons of notes. And I'm just jogging things down so that I can remember things, putting it together, getting into my journal and thinking and cogitating and making my goals really something for 2025. I'll share them all with you in the Rising Tide. So if you're a part of it, awesome. But I'm excited about it, and I'm excited to have you there. Go to savingdinner.com/show to get your big fat discount so we can do this together. All right? That's all I have for you. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you, of course, next Tuesday. In the meantime, you know where to find me. I'm always here for you. Just drop me a note at support@savingdinner.com and I'll take care of it. And Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. All the things. I appreciate you all. Peace be with you. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining me today. You can find me on TikTok for daily tips to help support your most vibrant life. And remember, you are the author of your own story. Until next time.